Today we're going to be doing a long awaited mod I've been wanting to do on my 2003 Saab 9.3 for the last, honestly, at least 3 or 4 years. And I finally have it today, and we're going to be throwing it in the car. As you could tell in the title of today's video, we're going to be throwing a strut brace into my 2003 9.3. This is courtesy of Maptun. Of course, I've worked with Maptun a bunch of times before, both on this car, on my Turbo X. They have some of the best aftermarket parts for Saabs. I have one of their suspension kits on this car. I have a tune on this car from them and a few other little bits and pieces here and there. But Maptun offers a huge aftermarket support for our cars, so go support them. I'll put a link to their website at the top of the description. If you're in the US though, check out Swedish Motorsports, which is the US branch of Maptun. I'll also have that website linked in the description. But they have anything from things like strut braces, tuning software, interior parts like steering wheels, dashes, trims. They have things like grills. They have, intercoolers, brakes, everything for these cars they pretty much offer. But when it comes to this strut brace specifically, I want to talk about some of the benefits of a strut brace and why you should install it. Thankfully, install these is very, very simple. All you got to do is take off 3 bolts here, 3 bolts there, slap it on, and put the bolts back on. So as you can tell, it kind of connects the 2 strut towers together. And really what it does is it just improves chassis rigidity. It's just another brace on the car to help improve stability in corners. A lot of people have also said that it helps cut down on the rattling on the interior. As many of you probably know, that these 9.3s with all their GM plastic in here, they like to rattle over bumps, or just generally speaking. So apparently that this strut brace really helps with things like that too. While it won't make your car faster in a straight line, it's really going to help the handling, help improve how it feels, and just make the whole chassis stiffer and feel a little bit better. This would be a huge upgrade on convertibles, especially because they don't have the solid roof. So there's not a whole lot of chassis support going from one side to the other, outside of the underside of the car. So especially if you're a convertible guy, really consider one of these. They're very, very cheap for what you get. And on top of that, they really don't weigh much either. I mean, this is maybe 5-7 pounds, so it's not a ton of weight either. But I'm gonna go ahead and set up the tripod, and let's get this thing installed. Like I mentioned earlier, super easy install. I'm probably about 10 minutes into filming this video, and we've already got it installed. Couple things I want to note. You might also be wondering why I don't have my engine cover on, and that is because I realized recently, if you look right here, this AC line was actually getting dug into by another part that was getting pressed down onto it because of the engine cover being off. So that's why I don't have my engine cover on, and just to help the ECU and everything breathe better during the summer. But so that's where my engine cover is. It's just sitting right there. But yeah, I super excited, super happy with how this looks. I think out of all the strut braces that are available for these cars, I think Maptun makes the most visually appealing one as well. I just absolutely love the Maptun performance sitting right there in the middle of it. It's just very low key, just black, simple, but it looks super good. So my buddies and I actually are going to be taking a cruise for 9-3 day, September 3rd, and also for 9-5 day, September 5th. So I think what I'm going to do is hold off for now, and we'll actually test this thing on the road a little bit here in a minute, and I'll give you guys my feedback. So stay tuned.
Tomorrow.
Got a few cars here. Gonna head out on a cruise soon. Just figured I'd show you guys who's all here since I mentioned it in the video, but I'm the only automatic car here, which is sad. We got Daniel, he's got an 089 6-speed. Dion's got his OG 93 hatch 5-speed. John's 6-speed 9.5, my automatic 9.3. We've got a Turbo X that's new to our club here. His is a 6-speed manual as well. This thing is really sweet. He's got the same license plate I had on mine. Really reminding me of mine right now. Really nice as well. Lucas's 99 hatch, and we've got a NG 900 5-speed as well with some Klingons on it. Sunday afternoon on Labor Day, so there's tons of traffic out here, but I wanted to do a short driving clip here, kind of talking about my thoughts on the strut brace, if I think it's worth it, and how it's handled so far, because I have, you know, I've probably put about 50 miles on the car since installing it, and so far I have to say, the stability, especially at high speed cornering, like when I took the freeway interchange this morning at probably about 80 miles an hour, I mean, something about the whole front end of the car just felt more rigid. I'm not sure if that's really the best way to describe it, but that's the best way I can think to describe it, that the whole front end of the car just feels more like composed and put together, like it's not going to, yeah, it's much more of, I push it into a turn and it actually goes exactly where I want it to. Not that it didn't do that before, but it just feels more in control. It feels more like it should. In terms of the creaking and things like that, I have noticed a bit of a change in that as well. I think my motor mounts aren't very good on this car. They've never been replaced as far as I know. The car is past 160,000 miles, so it's probably well timed to do that. I mean, it just holds so...
That's scary.
Sorry, we have walkie-talkies for our cruises. I'm going to shut that off real quick. These NG93s, I think, are the best handling Saabs from factory. I think it's the best chassis for, you know, just handling-wise from factory that Saab made. And I think the strut brace really just kind of helps stiffen it up, bring it all together. And when I say stiffen up, it's not like putting coilovers on your car where your ride quality is going to be affected negatively. That's not what I mean at all when I say that. It just feels more predictable. It feels more under control. It gives me more confidence going into a turn with it, that I can turn the wheel one direction. No, that's exactly where it's going to go. It's not going to kind of flex or, you know, because not that I noticed it before, like a flex in the car, but I could, you know, I can definitely notice the before and after. Let me just leave it at that. So I think for the money, this mod is an absolute no-brainer. I would highly recommend it. It's very affordable and gives you some great results. And in my opinion too, I also think it really spices up the engine bay, helps make it look a little bit, you know, better. You get the Maptun logo on there, which I love. So speaking of Maptun though, huge shout out to them once again, and Swedish Motorsports. Any aftermarket stuff you guys need for your cars, whether it be a strut brace, suspension, tunes, exhaust, like I said, tons of aftermarket support for our Saab. So keep supporting them because they're supporting me and our community. So with that being said though, guys, that's all I've got for today. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.